most effective nymph patterns today is the Prince Nymph. And just with a little addition of some CDC, it even makes it a whole lot better. So to start with, we're going to put in a 2x long hook, nymph hook, and we're going to attach some thread here. We want to be able to tie in our goose biot tail. And for our tail, we're going to just use some brown goose biot, or if you want, you can use turkey. And I'll just even up the tips. Got a picked one too many here. And we're going to put them so that they splay out away from each other. Make sure our tips are even. Just so they're kind of separated. So we just come in, get our tail line here, and tie down the excess. Next thing what we're going to do is tie in some D-rib. Instead of on the old patterns where we would be using peacock, I like to use the D-rib. So when I tie this in, I'm going to do so that the D-rib has the curvature on the side upwards, or so that when I wrap it forward, I'm going to have a nice segmentation. Now what I'll do is just briefly take my thread off, and we're going to build up a little bit of an underbody with some floss. You can do it with a smaller thread, but by using the single strand floss, it just goes a whole lot quicker. And you end up with a lot smoother underbody. And by using white, when I wrap this olive tubing forward, that the tint of the olive is going to be a little more pronounced. And if we want to make it a little bit lighter or darker, we can just come in with a magic marker. So we'll reattach our thread. Now we're going to wrap that D-rib forward. And just make sure you just wrap right in front of each wrap. As you can tell from this point of view camera, which we like to call the POV, you can just see how well segmented this fly becomes. Now that's a pretty good olive color, but since peacocks are made out of peacock, or the body's made out of peacock, all we have to do is come in here with a blue magic marker. And I like to use processed blue from Chart Pack. Just go over the body a little bit, and you instantly turn that olive D-rib into a peacock color. Nice little tip to know. Next we're going to tie in a wing case material. For that, I'm going to use some flashback. Flashback comes in numerous colors. This one happens to be brown, but if you wish, you can also use the peacock colored flashback. Now we're going to tie in some peacock curl for our thorax. So I just come in and grab some from the tip. That way you're more or less assured you're going to be using the fullest possible hurl within the package. Get our peacock on there. Now just to make sure the peacock's a lot stronger, we're just going to put the thread down. We're going to just twist this all together, creating a peacock rope. And if you'd like to add a little more weight, you can do this with wire as well. And just wrap it forward. Just like so, making it nice and thick. And by twisting the peacock, you can see how the fibers stand right out from the stem and making it look a little more fuller, or shaggier would be a better term. Tie off your peacock. And we're going to pull over our wing case. The reason I like to add a little wing case of some flashback, it just adds a little more flash to your fly. Now we're ready to, where we're going to show you how to use some CDC in a little more different way. And that's just wrapping it as a soft tackle. So we'll take some CDC. What I'm going to do is just grab it by the tip, pull it back, just cut off that tip, and we're going to tie it in right where we tied off our wing case. And we'll just take several wraps of the CDC. And as I do that, you can tell that I'm pulling the fibers back. Kind of broke that one off, so we got to reattach it. That way these fibers are all going to kind of flow backwards, and when it's being moved through the water, your fly just instantly comes alive with movement. The addition of putting CDC on Prince Nymphs or hare's ears or pheasant tails, it's probably been made most popular by Randall Kaufman. He's another person that just loves to use CDC, and anytime he can add some to his nymphs, I'm sure you can see his fly patterns incorporating the CDC in some manner. Now we have a little bit of a soft tackle here. Now we're ready for our wing. For that, we're going to use, well, for today we'll use turkey. But if you wish, you can use just the regular white goose biot. Again, we'll even up the tip. Set it on top so that it goes back to about the length of the hook. Tie it down, several turns of thread. Cut off our excess. And we'll just build a thread head, making sure everything's covered up and tied in real well. Then we'll just come in and whip finish it off. And if you want, you can also use one of Stonefly's whip finishers. I just prefer using it by my hand, with my hand, and that way I have one less tool to have to worry about carrying. The basic thing is just to show you that you can wrap some soft hackle of CDC on just about any standard nymph that you have, and in the long run it just makes your fly just a little more productive and has a whole lot more movement.